Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Juan Solo here with ASQD Gaming, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for some more Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So in today's video, we're going to be going down some new information surrounding the ability to upgrade your weapons as well as Mark II weapons, and also with that, how the actual tiered loot is going to be working in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So I've been seeing a lot of people talking about this in my comment section, saying that they're not going to pick up the game until they take out tiered loot and all that good stuff. It's not going to have as big of an effect as you all think. It's going to be a lot more tame. It's going to have, you know, the way it's going to work. We're going to talk about it in today's video. I think you guys are going to be totally fine with it once you get your hands on it and you actually test it out for yourself based off of all the information that we've received on it so far. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the video. So the first main thing I wanted to point out here, guys, upgrading your weapons and finding tiered loot are two completely separate things. There's going to be a section where you can upgrade your weapons and stuff like that we're going to talk about here in a second, and then there's also another section basically where you can find tiered weapons and loot and other things in the game that are going to have small buffs, small attributes, that kind of thing rolled onto them from default. So let me explain this a little bit more. So weapons and gear, this was actually pulled from another article that I've actually talked about already, but I will link it down in the description below if you guys want to check out the loot section for yourself. So weapons and gear, they go on to say that Ghost Recon Breakpoint will have a ton of weapons and equipment to complement the way you play. No matter your style, you'll find an arsenal of weapons that excel in every type of combat, close quarters, mid-range, and long range. But when it comes to the weapon upgrades section of this, weapon parts can be used to upgrade the mark of a specific weapon family. So in the open world, you're going to be able to find a resource called weapon parts, and you're also going to be able to dismantle weapons that you don't want to get different kinds of weapon parts that you can use to actually upgrade your current weapons. I believe how it works is once you fully upgrade a weapon one time, it ends up being a Mark II weapon, and I believe they went on to say that you can upgrade the mark of a weapon multiple times. So that's sort of your upgrade section, and with that, I'm assuming it'll probably increase some of the base stats of the weapon itself, but it's very different than the way the tiered loot system is going to work. So the way that tiered loot is going to work, so when you have an item that drops in-game, it's going to have a rarity with that weapon. So it's either going to be gray, which is basic or stock. You're going to have green, which is going to be your next tier up. Then there's blue. Then there's purple, and we don't have any confirmation if there's going to be orange. I can only assume that there's going to be a higher rarity than purple because we have gray, green, blue, purple, and then I'm assuming there's going to be a higher tier orange that's going to be absolutely insane. So what we know so far about the loot system, if you get a gray item, there's not really anything that's tied to it. It's basically your base version of each weapon. If you get a green, this is going to be rolled with one perk. And some of these perks that can be rolled onto these weapons are ammo pickup, mobility, accuracy, reload speed, health regen, more damage to vehicles, stuff like that. But as of right now, there are no perks that give you damage to actual enemies. It only gives you damage to vehicles, which I think is the way it should be. I don't think you should find a random weapon in the open world that's automatically going to give you more damage, even though they did go on to say that the PvP side of things is going to have its own balancing system when it comes to the weapons and gear. It's not really going to have that big of an impact on the PvP side of things, and if it's only in PvE, I don't see why that wouldn't be an issue. If you get a blue weapon to drop, it's actually going to come with two perks from those same categories, you know, ammo pickup, mobility, accuracy, that kind of thing. It's going to come with two perks, and I believe what I've heard, if you pick up a purple, it's going to have two perks as well, but it's going to have better versions of those two perks. So your ammo pickup percentage might be higher, your accuracy might be higher, you might have a better reload speed, you know, perk tied to that purple. Only time will tell to see more in-depth details. We didn't get to see a lot of this because in all of the demos and stuff, most people really couldn't go in and access their menu and couldn't showcase what all of that stuff was in their actual menu screen. If they picked up tiered loot, you could see it before it disappeared out of your main screen, but you couldn't actually go in and check out like your inventory and stuff like that. The only footage that we actually have of the in-game menu looking at different weapons, I believe, was IGN. So I'm actually going to be popping up some screenshots from that footage on screen here for you guys to kind of see what I'm talking about when it comes to the tiered loot. So the first thing we're going to be looking at here is you can see that he has a G28 Marksman Rifle. It is a blue tiered weapon that has a 80 level gear score, as well as it's a Mark I weapon. So being the fact that it's a Mark I weapon, it has not been upgraded to a Mark II weapon yet, using different weapon parts, as well as you can see that it is a blue item. It only has 1 perk for some reason. I could have swore they were talking about all the blue weapons were supposed to have 2 perks, but you can see there that this weapon has a plus 6% reload speed. So for those of you guys out there that are concerned about the tiered loot, take this for example. This weapon here only has a 6% reload speed increase, and it's a blue tiered weapon. So like I said, the tiered loot isn't going to have as big of an effect as you guys all think. Now moving on to the next screenshot here, he still has the G28 highlighted, but you can see over on the right hand side, he's hovering over the 805 Bren. So this is an assault rifle that you can see there has a level 80 gear score, as well as it is a blue tiered weapon, but it comes with 2 perks. So it has plus 10 meters of range and plus 3% drone damage. So like I said, it's not crazy. They're little buffs, but overall, when you get something like that on all of your gear, it's going to make a huge difference, especially if you go out and look for very, very specific perks to kind of make your own build. Like, for instance, if you want a drone build, so all of these things will have drone abilities and stuff on them. You know, it all depends on how you want to play. So you can see here in this next screenshot, he is actually hovering over a Scorpio sniper rifle, and this is a level 80 gear score weapon, as well as it is a blue tiered weapon, and you can see there that it has plus 10 proximity marking. So I'm assuming with that binoculars or the drone, you know, the proximity marking is going to go up by 10 meters. Not a crazy stat, but like I said, these stats aren't as, you know, overpowered as you guys originally thought. And you also notice there that it is a Mark I weapon. I believe all of these are Mark I weapons. They have not actually been upgraded to the Mark II status with weapon parts and other things. So now moving on to this next weapon here, you can see that he has an SN 9mm. It's a Mark I weapon, a level 80 blue tiered weapon, kind of like we've seen so far. And you can see there that it has a plus 5 meter proximity marking and plus 10 meters of range. So the plus 10 meters of range I think is going to be very nice on submachine guns. So if you can get a plus 10 meters of range on the submachine gun, it's obviously going to make it so that it's going to be easier to use. Now moving on to the next image, you guys can see here we have a P320 Pistol that is a level 80 green tiered weapon. It's also a Mark I weapon, and you can see that it has plus 10 mobility. So overall with those perks, there isn't really anything too crazy, but they are small buffs that will definitely add up once you get specific ones that you want. Now moving on to the last image, this is the one that I kind of wanted to stay on for a little bit longer, because if you notice, he is hovering over a gear piece that he doesn't have, but you can notice there that it's a level 70 headgear. It says none, so that's kind of bugged out. I'm assuming that's just kind of like purposes of the demo, but you can see there that there are 4 logos in that little slot there. Those are the 4 different attributes that you can actually use in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So those are attack, defense, stealth, and stamina. And each piece of actual gear that you get, weapons are different. So each piece of gear you get in these slots, so you have headwear, handwear, vest, pants, and footwear. These are the only items that I believe you're going to be able to get in the quote-unquote tiered loot. And some of those are obviously going to have different attributes that are going to increase your base attributes. So you can kind of see right above the hat where he has 4 damage, he has 10 defense, he has 30 stealth, and then he also has 20 stamina. And all these gear pieces over here are going to come with specific stats rolled on. Some are going to be balanced, some are going to be all stacked to 1 attribute, but it's going to allow you to kind of grind for a specific build. If you want a 100% stealth build, you can go for all stealth items. If you want, you know, all damage build, you can go for all damage things, and you're going to be able to take down enemies and drones and stuff that much faster. If you want like a combination of a stealth and stamina build, so you can kind of run around a lot, do a run and gun, sneak attack, that kind of thing, you can. It's a lot of freedom, and I believe how this is going to work is these are all gear pieces, and I believe you're going to be able to customize your character possibly on a different tab, because obviously the character customization isn't in this slot here. So who knows how the character customization is going to work and tie in with this, if you're going to be able to still put whatever character customization you want. Even though here you can see all of these gear pieces, maybe the character customization is going to trump the actual gear pieces. So even though you have a gear piece that has really cool stats, it may be ugly, you might be able to put a different cosmetic or something in your character customization area to make it so that, you know, you don't have to stare at that. Who knows? Only time will tell. We really have no idea how the character customization is going to work, but I just kind of wanted to break down all of the information we had about upgrading weapons, Mark II weapons, tiered loot, and everything in this video for you guys, because I know there is a lot of confusion out there surrounding this topic. But that is pretty much going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, you guys are excited about Ghost Recon Breakpoint coming out later this fall, make sure to drop a like on the video, and also subscribe if you are new to stay up to date on all content with Ghost Recon Breakpoint moving forward. I know there are a lot of you guys that actually watch my videos that are not actually subscribed to the channel, so if you guys are enjoying the content, you guys want to see more of it, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you guys do not miss any content moving forward. But that is all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.